Here is Kevin Kennedy and Rich Herrera with an Inside the Dugout quick fix.
Did you see the picture, Kevin, of Alan Trammell with his travel mates as they landed in Orlando?
No.
Okay, so Jack Morris, who should have been in the Hall of Fame a while ago, tells the story that he's waiting and he's working over at MLB.com and his producer's checking in with him, and they gave him a window of time that they're going to call, and the producer's calling. The window closes, and Jack's starting to prepare to be let down once again, and then he gets the call that he's getting in, but he had to keep it to himself, and finally was able to tell people, and he teared up, and it was an emotional moment having him retell the story in his press conference. And I sat up there in the front row and was like, wow, this is amazing. That was awesome.
How awesome is that?
So
did you see my little tweet on, actually it was a long tweet. I numbered it too, 1, 2, 3, on Alan Trammell, my little story about Alan. Did you happen to see that?
No. So let me tell you this.
I'll tell that story in a minute about Alan when I first met him.
Okay. So here's Alan Trammell. He's flying. He lives here in Southern California, right?
Yes.
So he's flying, and on his flight
from San Diego.
So he doesn't live that far from me, I understand. So he's on the Southwest flight out of San Diego to Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Also on that flight is Buddy Black, Bruce Bochy, Trevor Hoffman, John Boggs. There's probably a dozen baseball people on that flight.
John is a big agent in San Diego that's represented many of those guys. Yeah.
So there's a photo. It's Scott Miller. You know Scott from Bleacher Report. He works with us at Sirius XM.
You bet. Yeah,
so
good guy.
He tweeted this out, and it's a photo of all these guys in the where you pick up your luggage.
Yeah.
So what had happened was Alan's on the flight.
Baggage claim.
Yeah, baggage claim. Alan's on the flight. He's not supposed to say anything. His phone is off. He's just kind of going through everything, and he's waiting, and he's waiting, and he's waiting. So they get off the phone. They get off the plane, and hey, people ask, did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Did your phone blow up? Nope, nothing. So he's kind of hanging around because when they land, that's when they're supposed to be either calling him to let him know, or if his phone doesn't ring, he didn't make it. So everybody else is getting their stuff, and he's kind of hemming and hawing, waiting, went to the bathroom and kind of wandered around a little bit and waited. And then finally his phone rings and everybody else is already there. Waiting at baggage claim. And he comes down to baggage claim and they're all looking, and he gives them a thumbs up. And they all know that he made it. So it was in the photo, it's Osmus, Bud Black, Trammell, Trevor Hoffman, Bruce Bochy, all together there for that moment. So it was just a great story of him, and then both of them going in as teammates. It was really cool to see.
Inside the Dugout with Kevin Kennedy and Rich Herrera can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and RadioInfluence.com.